Alright guys, so a while ago someone had asked me to do a deep dive on Guts and Griffith's relationship, and I got that video out months ago. However, it got vanished to the Shadow Realm, and I even tried re-uploading it without the watermark and everything, and it still got vanished to the Shadow Realm. I'm like, okay, so they probably just didn't like the video clip I used, so I'm just gonna do it like this. Alright, so when it comes to Guts and Griffith, a lot of the fandom are convinced that he's got a thing for Guts. As a matter of fact, I saw a lot of comments under a video where they go get Griffith, and the first thing Griffith does when he sees Guts is put his hand around his neck like, oh, they were making all kinds of innuendo and suggestive jokes about what he was doing, but no, he was trying to strangle him. That wasn't, oh, I missed you. That wasn't, oh, I'm in love with you. He was trying to harm him because in Griffith's mind, it's Guts' fault as to why everything went wrong in his life. And the funny thing is, I can see it from both angles. And yes, I know a lot of people are going to call me a Griffith defender. You guys have seen the multiple videos I posted about him, but I'm just saying, I see where they're coming from Griffith's point of view and from Guts' point of view. Griffith being the type of person he is, of course he would view it as his fault because he decided to leave. The funny thing is, it was Griffith's fault that Guts decided to leave in the first place. We all know that Guts was really traumatized when he went to go deal with Julius and accidentally ended up taking his son off the census. And he went to go look for Griffith, I'm thinking for comfort, because he called him friend. Now this is where me and a lot of my friends get into it because he's like, oh, well, he assumed that it was a work relationship. I said, Griffith specifically said, friend, I need you to do this for me. And he's like, well, why don't you just order me to do it? I'm a soldier. He's like, you're my friend. So yeah, he said friend. So imagine walking up on the guy who just said that and then hearing him say, these men will go into the jaws of death for my dream, but that does not make them my friend. What? Like, dude, bye. Bye. But yeah, he walks up on that and he's like, because the man that would want to be my friend or who could be called my friend must be my equal. He must do whatever it takes to achieve his dream, even if that means crushing me in his path to achieve his dream. And that's exactly what Guts did. Guts said, hey, I'm gonna go. He's like, no, you're not leaving. And here's the thing, I'm like, you know, if we just talked to Guts like he was a human being, maybe all this could have been avoided, but who needs diplomacy when we can just try to force someone, am I right? No, that's the wrong way to think. Don't think like that. So Guts ends up defeating Griffith, breaking his sword, and walking off. Even Casca was standing there fangirling, and it was really obvious, though, that Guts had grown substantially since he'd first met Griffith, and it was in part to Griffith he'd grown so much. And I already knew how that fight was going to go. I was like, he's not going to win. He's not going to win. Even though, yes, fair enough, I had actually, you know, heard about the series and we all knew the outcome. But honestly, even without having, you know, had those spoilers, I think anybody could have predicted that Griffith was not going to win that fight. Guts was going to come out on top. Now, when it comes to their relationship, a lot of people try to paint it as a controlling boyfriend. No, Griffith likes power, and he saw Guts as a weapon and a possession. He told Guts he would decide where he died. You see, this is where I'd be side-eyeing the Band of the Hawk, because I understand due to the time period, they didn't have a lot of options, but it's like, this man just told you he would decide where you died. Now, either he's insane or he's telling the truth. I don't like either. We're good, dude. So, no, Griffith's whole thing with Guts was, you are my possession, you don't have the right to leave, I own you. That literally was what it was. It wasn't a relationship thing. It wasn't a, oh, I'm romantically attached to him. There have been several people on several platforms that have debunked that theory. It wasn't a romance thing. As a matter of fact, most of us are pretty sure that Griffith is ace, because things of that nature, when it comes to him, like with relationships, they seem to be a transactional thing or a dominance thing. You know, like with the princess and with the king. I don't blame Griffith for that one though. Like, no, seriously, Griffith, his entire apostle army and Lord Locust couldn't have beaten that out of me. That would have gone to the grave with me. Nobody could have known about that. So I can't blame Griffith for that one. Like, I don't blame him. Like, dude, you're running around chattering a little bit too much for my liking. But yeah. So it wasn't a romance thing. It was a dominance and control thing. What he does to Casca is a prime example of this. Now, we see a flashback with him being with Casca and accepting his limitations, right? Here's the thing, though. A lot of people thought that meant he cared about her. I said, no, that meant he was willing to settle for it. That's all. And Casca, I can safely say, despite the fact that I love Griffith, deserves far better than to just be, oh, well, you're good enough. That was something he was going to accept under the circumstances, but he elected to do what he did. And when he did that to Casca in front of Guts to show how powerless he was, because Guts made him feel powerless. Guts was the first person that actually brought Griffith literally to his knees, and Griffith could not let that go. It wasn't a love thing. It was a, you embarrassed me and my feelings got hurt thing. So yeah, when people say that Griffith throws tantrums and is a man-child, it's like, well, you know, like, I'd love to say something, but hey, what's that over there? Like, you know, like, I do feel as though there's going to be a lot of comeuppance in store for Griffith. It's just like it's not possible for him to be able to manifest all of this stuff and nothing come back on him. He is technically the god of causality, but Guts is a god right now too. What happened was Guts was the first one to ever defy Griffith, tell him no, and go against his wishes. Everybody else in the Band of the Hawk followed him around like an obedient puppy, and then he gets the one that doesn't, and that's the one he's going to fixate on, because Guts was known as the 100-Man Slayer in Griffith's army, therefore boosting Griffith's ego and boosting his image. Guts trying to leave was a massive threat to Griffith's ego and image, and that's exactly why all this culminated, where Griffith is masquerading as the Hawk of Light when he's actually not. So when it comes to their relationship, the relationship was a simple, you are my property arrangement. He felt as though Guts belonged to him, and he views people as possessions. I don't even think he has the capacity to view people as people, and I honestly don't think he was always like that. I think he's progressively changed into this due to what he's had to do to survive and due to what he's had to do to build his army. I think progressively he started to lose touch with his humanity. We even see while he's in the water and he's still upset about that soldier boy. He tries to tell her, no, I'm not upset about that, but it's really obvious he is, but has no idea how to process it. And we see what he resorts to in order to stop, at leaving Casca to have to rush into the water to hug him, to beg him to stop doing it. And he's like, oh, it was nothing. And he's able to brush that off. So I suspect he's just brushed off feelings to the point where it doesn't even affect him anymore. So he became this person that saw people as objects and tools to be used and disposed of, because like, I can't afford to get attached to none of y'all. Y'all might die on me. So that's what I think is going on with Griffith when it comes to his views on people and his relationship with Guts. But tell me what you think in the comment section down below.